Today, I don't walk on this stage as a speaker. I'm on this stage as an urgent messenger. And the story that I'm going to share with you today is going to be one of the most important stories that you're going to hear, because it's going to be all about you. Y'all ready to go for a ride? It's going to be a ride today, that's for sure. I'd like you to look on the right side of your seat, underneath your seat. Do you see the imaginary seatbelt? Buckle up, it's going to be a ride. That was great. Everybody's just, where's the thing at? Right. It's right there, exactly. It is. It's always right there. I'm here to help you remember three things. The through line in this is that I'm here to help you remember three things. And I'm going to help you remember these three things like this was the last time that I was ever on stage. It's that urgent. The first thing that I'm going to help you remember is that you forget. The first thing I'm going to help you remember is that you forget, that we all forget. The second thing I'm going to help you to remember is that we get to choose. We always get to choose. And the third, for those bold enough, brave enough, and powerful enough, I'm going to remind you that you can always lead, that we forget, that we can choose, and that we can lead. Got it? All right. I was coming in the studio one day. At our house, we have a studio, and then I was coming into the house from a client coaching session. And I walk up to my wife in the house, and she was like, "Did you see the TikTok I just sent you?" Does anybody have a partner that just randomly sends you like TikToks and shares videos and stuff like that? Great. So my wife sends me TikToks and shares videos with me all the time. And usually her videos are like the most hilarious videos that you will ever see in the world. It's like, somebody making some random joke. They're very entertaining. So I walk in the house. When she shows me this TikTok, she's like, "Did you see the TikTok I just sent you?" I was like, "Babe, I just got off of a client call." So then she pulls out her phone, and then she starts to show me the video. And the reel that she's showing me at this time is a reel of an elephant pushing a tree. And there's this guy narrating it. So he's out in the African savannah, there's an elephant, and it's pushing a tree. And I'm like, this doesn't look funny at all. So the elephant's pushing the tree. It pushes the tree once. It pushes the tree a second time. And then it pushes the tree a third time. And then what happens? The tree falls. I was like, "Babe, this isn't funny at all. What am I supposed to be looking at?" And she's like, "Well, it's not really funny. I'm actually sharing it with you because it's more like a metaphor for the way that I see you." She said that tree is an ecosystem. All types of animals go up that tree. You got ants going up the tree and squirrels going up the tree, and sometimes the cheetahs go in the tree to find cover, and they run away from things and they hide in the tree. And sometimes you got monkeys, depending on where you're at, swinging from tree branch to tree branch. You got all these different animals that are going up this tree because this tree is this seemingly immovable object. And then all of a sudden, this elephant comes over to the tree, pushes it three times, and the tree just falls on the ground. And she said, when I first met you, when I first experienced you, You were like all the other animals. You were hustling. You were moving. You were thinking that there were tons of things that you had to do. There were tons of actions you needed to take. You were scrambling and moving. You were like the squirrel and the ant and the cheetah. Sometimes you would hide in the tree. She was saying all those different things. She was like, when I first met you, I saw the beauty in you, but that's the way you were operating. And she said, what I want you to remember, she said, I want you to remember that you are the majestic, beautiful, powerful as the elephant. Because sometimes you forget. And when I first met you, you forgot. And now you get to remember how powerful you are, how majestic you are, how beautiful you are. And sometimes we all forget. Anybody in here forget how powerful, beautiful, majestical you are? We all forget. But here's the thing about being as powerful as the elephant, is that when you step into your gift, when you step into your purpose, when you step into your mission, many of us are afraid of stepping into that power. We're afraid of pushing the tree because we think the tree can't move. We think that the roots are too deep. The stories are too rigid. We think we can't erode the past. There's hundreds of years of that tree living in that land. We think that there's no way. We think that the only way that we can go up is the same way that everyone else went up. We forget. We forget how powerful we truly are. And then in the moment you remember, you knock down every wall that previously existed. The moment you remember, you become a resource and a leader to all. The moment you remember how powerful you truly are, you become the most powerful creature on the planet. If you are feeling me, then say yes. The moment you remember. And the beauty is that when you remember and you knock over that tree, not only does it provide nourishment for you, but it feeds everyone. Everyone now has the opportunity to benefit from eating from that tree. The moment you step into your gift, the moment you remember. So the first thing I wanted you to remember is that we always forget how powerful we truly are. Got it? The second thing is that we always get to choose. There was one thing that I forgot on my journey. 10 years ago, I was in a rock bottom sandwich. I call it a rock bottom sandwich because I was already at rock bottom and then rock bottom smashed on top of me. It was like an Oreo cookie and I'm the filling. I'm like, I'm financially broke, emotionally broken, 2 DUIs, girlfriend paying the bills. I'm 40 pounds overweight. My life is a mess. And so during that period of time, I forgot. But there's a really powerful quote. It says, sometimes you need to believe in somebody else's belief in you until your belief is strong enough to kick in. And I had people that believed in me. And not only did they get me to the point where I could realize that I should be able to share my voice in environments like this and be of value and be a benefit to the room, but they also reminded me of one very important thing, of my gift. One of my greatest gifts, as I have identified over this period of my life, is my ability to communicate through art. My 10,000 hours is with a pen and paper. I used to write poetry ever since I was 8 years old, and I've been rapping since I was 12. I've done some pretty phenomenal things as a writer. But during that period of time, I needed to remember how powerful the gift is. And I didn't realize that I had forgotten the gift. And so then I got an invitation from someone to step deeper into my gift. And when I stepped deeper into this gift, I said, and that, during that rock bottom sandwich, when I was rebuilding my life, I actually was talking to somebody about doing a media kit for me as a speaker. So they invited me. They said, hey, look, I'm going to help you write your media kit. I want you to write a bio about yourself. So I was tasked with the job of writing a bio about myself. And what did I do? I didn't write the bio. I actually spent that time, and then I wrote a spoken word piece. I was like, why am I writing a spoken word piece? I just got very specific instruction to write a bio. And then I just wrote the spoken word piece. And then I shared it with the guy because I had this idea in my head. I said, if I share my gift in the way that I share my gift, regardless of whether or not I am a celebrity, I could get on any stage because of the fact that I'm owning my gift. That was my hypothesis. So I shared it with the guy I was supposed to write the bio for, and then what does he say? He says, dude, he's like, this is really good, but how is this gonna get you on stage? It's gotten me on stage now. And not only am I performing it for you, but I've performed it in front of thousands of people and for millions of people. So the piece that I'm about to perform for you right now is called Be You. You need to be you, the real you. The brilliant, dynamic, unapologetic you. The screw it everybody thinks, the most energetic you. Or the one who cares too much, damn it, the most empathetic you. Whoever you really are, that's the you need to be. Not the whatever you think I want. That's the you that's you for me. You need to be so you, people decide whether or not to like you. So when the party's going down, they may or may not invite you. You need to be you, the motivator, inspirator, the you who sees greatness in me and helps me believe. So when I'm suffocated by fear, it's you. Your truth helps me to breathe. And I think that I already know the superhero you. What I'm really trying to get to know is the was, the zero you. Not just the successful you, but the loser you too. The you who you keep most protected is the you I wish I knew, you know? Couldn't admit the pain, you know, the fake smile you. Indecisive about your future, we're gonna be here a while you. The hiding feelings up your sleeve, the no cards on the table you. Ice cold heart, the emotionally disabled you. The self-doubt inflicted, used to think I'm trash you. The one scared at the wheel, watching life go past you. You need to be you, the real you. The you that struggle. No cash, 2 jobs, shows your hustle and how you juggle. And if you got it all figured out, I'm not talking to you. But if you block someone from receiving this message, then I am walking through you. Because the story they told you about you is not your story. They always judge a book by its cover, but never got your story. Never give they the time of day, because people, they tend to twist stories. Because one day they will see your story become his story. And if they ever said that you were worthless, that there was no value, don't know how they reached that conclusion, they profile you. All up in your timeline to buddy up and pal you. Then maliciously, viciously stomping on your style you. Remember, always speak your truth. Don't let them interrupt you. Then just keep dishing and dishing till they can't get enough you. Now speaking your truth is lonely, so for those that left you, tell them screw the fake approval. Hit them with an F, you. If they leave, it's their loss. Let your roar get louder. When they envy your energy, tell them your truth, it's your power. And to all those that doubted you, make them a promise to be like the incredible you and smash the negative comments. Don't you get it? The real you is what the world needs more. And once you get it, you'll realize that the world is yours. Ain't no stopping you. Keep it moving. Become the better you. Never be a replacement. There'll be no one instead of you. When they think of your greatness, there'll be no one ahead of you. They'll be loving the alphabet. They'll say, I never met a you. It's incredible. The better you. The you need to be. So now that you have found your you, let's find the you inside of we. Thank you. Thank you. I was tasked. I'm really good at following instructions, by the way. I am. I'm really good at it. I'm super good at it. I'm speaking that into existence because it's real. When I speak it, it becomes real. I'm creating with language. Absolutely. But when I was tasked to write that bio, I made a choice. I made a choice to speak from the soul. And I just pushed it a little further down. I ended up doing it, but I had to make that choice. Everyone reaches a choice point. And sometimes when your intuition, you are evolutionarily designed to listen to your intuition. Everyone in here has an intuition. My mother says, your intuition's always right, you just read it wrong. So your intuition is always online. You just got to trust it. And in that moment, I trusted it, and then that's what came from it. So I made the choice to step into my gift. And now I'm going to bring you forward to today, the next evolution of my gift. You ready? All right. Because my gift is not just my gift, it's also whose? Yours. I was at this event in Arizona in January. Who was at the event in Arizona in January? We had a great ride. Shout out to Judy and Eric for putting it together. And at that event, I felt like I was going through a port. Listen very, very closely. You are listening to this story about yourself. I was at that event in Arizona. I came in on a day like this, on day 2, and I performed this piece on day 2. Day 2, I told the guys, very similar to the people here, I told them, I said, hey, look, I need to come in early because I got to do a rehearsal, because it was a really tight window. So I came in for a rehearsal. When I was in the room for the rehearsal, there was a group of people that were sitting at a table to my left, very similar to this table, and there was maybe like 8 or 9 people there, and Steve was giving away books, and Steve was there. Usually when I do a rehearsal, I kick everybody out the room. So the sound team kicked everybody out the room, and Steve was the only person in the room. So I performed and rehearsed this piece in the room for Steve. So Steve was my captive audience. So I'm performing the piece for Steve. After I performed the piece, Steve gets up. He's sitting where Gabby is right now. Steve gets up out of his seat, comes around the table, comes up to the stage. I'm standing right here. And he kisses my feet. Now, I don't know anybody else, but I don't know if you had somebody kiss your feet, but it's a wild experience. It's a wild experience, I will tell you. So he walks up and he kisses my feet. And in that moment, all of my you can't receive anything is going on right now, right? So I'm like, what's happening? So I get off the stage, And then Steve and I embrace, and Steve says something to the effect of, I don't necessarily have the words for it, but you're one of the most profound people I've ever experienced in my life. One of the best speakers I've ever experienced in my life. So from that place, Steve and I connected. It was great. Saturday, I had to go back home because other than being on stage or being a coach or any of those things, I'm also a father. So I had to go back home to a flag football game that was at 7 p.m. I made it back home at 6:59. I'm very proud of myself. Get back home, made it to the flag football game, and then I get a phone call from Steve on Monday. Steve goes, hey, look, we're going to go, he says, do you live in the Phoenix area? I was like, no, I live in LA. He said, well, if you lived in Phoenix, I want you to come to the Grand Canyon with us. I was like, well, I can't make it. Clutch my pearls, throw my shawl over my shoulder. I don't have the ability to make it. Right? It's like he doesn't understand my limitations. I'm just speaking them out loud. So then after I got off the phone with Steve, he says, because I have a client whose last week is this week, and he wants to go to the Grand Canyon. So after he says, after I talk with him, great. Then I get on the phone, I get another call from Sachin, who's his client. So Sachin calls me. At that point, I get 2 phone calls on Facebook, and I'm like, why is everybody calling me on Facebook? I was like, who is doing this? So Sachin calls me and says, I have an invitation for you. I remember the tilt of his chin when he said it. I have an invitation for you. I was like, what is going on? He's like, well, we're going to the Grand Canyon on Thursday, and I want you to come with us. So I started thinking about it. Then I said, let me think about it. And so I go to my wife, who's a through line in pretty much every story I say. And then I tell her, I said, I just got a phone call from Steve, and I got a phone call from Sachin about going to the Grand Canyon. And then she says, are you thinking about going? And I said, I'm not really that sure. And she says, babe, you wouldn't have brought this to me if you weren't thinking about going. Anybody else have a psychic partner, a wife? Goodness gracious. I'm like, are you seeing all my thoughts? So she says, obviously, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go. I said, I was thinking about all my reasons why I couldn't go, all the stuff that gets in the way. I got client calls, and we have a mastermind, and we have all this stuff going on. I was like, but I'm the CEO. Let's move it. Not just the CEO of my business, the CEO of my life. I was like, let's make some magic happen. Let's move some mountains. In my document, I am a man that moves mountains to create extraordinary results, both expected and unexpected. Not an affirmation, it's who I am. So I moved mountains, and then I got back out to Arizona. Now, one important footnote in this: the person that was going to be in the car with them for that ride couldn't go because he was about to have a baby. That's my man, Steve Bacon. So was I not available in that moment, Steve would have gone if he wasn't having a child. So there's a confluence of events that are transpiring in this moment, creating what's being created. You hear what's going on? And I'm just riding the wave, okay? So at that point, I say I'm going. I go back out to Arizona. It's myself, Sachin, Kasudi, and Steve. Get to Steve's house in the morning. He's in there with Kasudi. They're meditating. Sachin and I in the driveway. We're doing burpees in the driveway. We're just doing burpees in the driveway. Anybody else here love burpees? Great, because I don't. So we end up in the driveway, and then we leave. Steve's like, we're going to read the butterfly effect on the way out there, and we read the butterfly effect on the way out to the Grand Canyon. It's an amazing day. We go up to the Grand Canyon. We're driving to the Grand Canyon, and then from that place, we drive up. It's raining. We hike the Grand Canyon. As we're hiking the Grand Canyon, I'm talking about this rock that was coming down so fast, and it literally went past behind this couple that was in front of us and in front of, really, me and Steve. And it was so big that if that rock hit me in the face, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be here today. So again, the series of events that are occurring in life, a game of inches. We end up driving back from the Grand Canyon. We have dinner. We drive back from the Grand Canyon. I'm the one that's driving. At that point, Steve and I are in the front listening to music, and Sachin and Kasuti are in the back. Sachin's Indian. He's from London. Kasuti's black. He's from Chicago. Chicago is not a foreign country. Well, here it is. So Steve and I are in the front listening to, we're talking about Prince and Freddie Mercury and Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm just trying to figure out why Steve has CDs. Like, what is going on? Like, the music's great, but this technology thing, we're gonna have to work this thing out. So it was awesome. So we're in there talking about music and Freddie Mercury, and it was great. In the back, Sachin and Kasuti are talking about hip hop. And then all of a sudden, Sachin comes to, says to us, he says, all right. What do you think about black people using the N-word? I said, what? I think about black people using the N-word. Here's the thing that they don't know. The first piece that I wrote was "Be You." In my process of stepping back into my gift, in 2019, I had an interaction with a black friend of mine on Facebook who commented on one of my posts and used the N-word like 3 times. I reached back out to him, so we're going from the car back to 2019. So present, 2019. 2019, I had this interaction with a friend of mine because he comments the N-word on one of my posts. At that point, I reached out to him on Instagram because he's more active on Instagram, and I said to him, I said, look, man, I said, I love you, and I'm not gonna delete your post, but I'd like you to delete it. Because it's not a powerful representation of me, and it's definitely not a powerful representation of you. And in that post, I'll just tell you what I told him. I said, and that young man, that young brother that you're trying to inspire, he keeps getting confused because you keep calling him a nigga. So he responds to me, he says, done. Anything else? And at that moment, I realized that not only do I have the power to choose, I have the power to lead. Here's the thing about that moment. It made me realize that there were certain aspects of my life that I was complicit. When you listen to this story, don't listen to it entirely about one word. Listen to it about the areas in your life where you do not assert yourself or step deeply into your leadership, where everything is normalized, where things are just like, it's all right. Everybody's doing it. My relationship is, my fitness is, A lot of people live a lot of We live a lot of And my offering to you as an urgent messenger right now is that there is a 6-letter word that will literally transform your life in an instant. It starts with the letter E and it ends with the letter H. Does anyone know what that word is? Don't worry, I'll tell you. It's enough. I have had enough. I will no longer tolerate mediocrity in any aspect of my life or from anyone in any way, shape, or form. Enough. That is the word that will transform your life. When you have had enough. And at that moment, I had enough. So my response to that interaction that I had with my friend from Facebook, on Instagram, was stepping into my gift, and I communicated it through art. And I wrote a spoken word piece called The N-Word. Fast forward to Sachin's question in the car. When he asked the question in the car, what he didn't realize is that I had a fully formed opinion on his question. So what I did in that car is I decided, he said, you know what, I'm not even going to respond to what he just asked. I'm just going to perform the piece in the car. So when he asked the question, I said, awesome. Actually, I said, I'm going to wait for Kasudi to respond. Kasudi's the only other black dude in the car. Kasudi goes, Sanyika, what do you think? the universe, dude. Like, it's just wild. So I said, my brothers, before I get into any discussion, I'm taking a second to let you know that I love you. You are Earth's original peoples, capable of anything, in your reflection, the essence of a king. That's why in this moment I am still conflicted, self-restricted from using a single word because of the pain it's inflicted. This word is a virus bubbling up inside us, a word that we reverse, but in reverse is where it guides us, and I guess that's what surprises me. That's why I'm triggered when a brother who loves his brother is calling his brother a nigga. You called your brother a nigga? You called your brother a nigga? Would you call your mother a nigga? Nah, I didn't figure. And the fact that you won't use it, what the woman gave you birth, is what makes the explanation that it's harmless even worse. If it's such a loving term black people have accepted, why won't you use the term with the woman you respected? I mean, I've been a lot of places. There may be something I'm forgetting, but I've never seen it. Used at a wedding, eyes locked, holding hands with your significant other. Would you say the N-word to inspire your baby's mother? Tell your daughter you love her? Tell your grandmother and grandfather, this is the freedom of yours they fought for? It's fine, because we say it all the time. They called us niggas while picking cotton. You out your cotton picking mind? And best believe I used to use it. I said it with ease. On second thought, dog, I abused it. I had a disease. I told brothers that we should lose it. Brothers disagreed. They said it's a term of endearment. They'd be like, nigga, please. So I'm calling my brothers niggas, not calling my niggas brothers. Hold up. Why's the only time we niggas with each other? Brother to brother, are you afraid others will judge you if when you see me, instead of nigga, you just said I love you? And it's a complicated history from movies, music to comedy. Black entertainers said the word with love and affection. But it's become a mystery through movies, music, and comedy. Other races' abuse turn black wounds into an infection, and we fight for the right to say it. But we're not fighting for a future that determines if it's really right to say it. And who am I to say enough? Who am I to bring it up? Who's this nigga asking you niggas to give it up? I am. One of your brothers is the reason I'm invited. I am. A man that speaks the truth even if you don't like it. I am. A way that transformation happens in phases. The first step is the awareness there's no benefit to say it. Screw acceptance. We go from it's okay to it's outrageous. Because they call brothers niggas for they lock them up in cages. They call black fathers niggas so they can't make better wages. So I'm only using words that bridge a brother to his greatness. My camera was broken, but now I get the picture. There's a much bigger audience using the word nigga. So when I say brothers, it's brothers of all persuasions. My brothers, black and Latino, Caucasian and Asian in every city and state, every country and continent. The N-word is a problem all over the fucking place. And words like nigga live in all genders, races, religions. A word you may feel is freedom, for someone else a prison. So what I'm trying to teach you is a lesson I was given. The words that you choose, the words you abuse. The words that you use create the world that you live in. Nigga means ignorant. Doesn't make us better men. Can't put it at the end of your name to go practice medicine. It doesn't make you richer, healthier, or blacker. It does not improve the chances of making black lives matter. And if black lives matter, my niggas, here's what I'm asking. Why would I call you nigga when your righteous name is black man? Originals, brothers, sophisticated or gutter. I am only using words that will show my brothers I love you. And the love runs so deep, I am willing to take this stand for the brothers that will sit and try to make me the villain. I'm the tattoo remover here to get it off your chest. It'll sting a little bit. Brothers, this is my request. I am asking you to rethink your words. I'm not calling you out. I am calling you forwards. Stop using the word nigger. And what to call your brother other than the N-word is only one thing. If that man's really your brother, only thing that you should call him is a king. That was my response in the car. We're gonna So, the last thing that I need to do for you is to show you what emerged from this. From that car was the most powerful commitment, and I chose to step into my leadership. From the car with Steve and with the help of people like Stacy Katz and all of the other people who have been involved, Kai, Eric, Judy, who have been supporting a lot of other people. In 3 weeks, we shot a fully developed music video for the N-word. And many of the people in this room supported that. And so what I want to do right now is show you that video in honoring of you. That video will be released on July 11th. The woman who wrote the foreword on the book that you're reading has signed on to be an executive producer for this project. And we're releasing it on the 11th of June with the intention of putting this out into the world. Ben, can you pull up the video for the N-word?
My brothers, before I get into any discussion, I'm taking a second to let you know that I love you. You are Earth's original peoples, capable of anything in your reflection, the essence of a king. That's why in this moment I am still conflicted, self-restricted from using a single word because of the pain it's inflicted. This word is a virus bubbling up inside us, a word that we reverse, but in reverse is where it guides us, and I guess that's what surprises me. That's why I'm triggered when a brother who loves his brother's calling his brother a nigga. Called your brother a nigga? Called your brother a nigga? Would you call your mother a nigga? Nah, I didn't figure. And the fact that you won't use it, what the woman gave you birth, is what makes the explanation that it's harmless even worse. If it's such a loving term black people have accepted, why won't you use the term with the woman you respected? I mean, I've been a lot of places. There may be something I'm forgetting, but I've never seen it used at a wedding. Eyes locked, holding hands with your significant other. Would you say the N-word to inspire your baby's mother? Tell your daughter you love her. Tell your grandmother and grandfather this is the freedom of yours they fought for. It's fine, cause we say it all the time. Y'all say it's fine, cause we say it all the time. You say it's fine, cause we say it all the time. They called us niggas while picking cotton. Want your cotton picking mine? Best believe I used to use it. I said it with ease. On second thought, dog, I abused it. I had a disease. I told brothers that we should lose it. Brothers disagreed. They said it's a term of endearment. They be like, nigga, please. So I'm calling my brothers niggas, not calling my niggas brothers. Hold up. Why's the only time we niggas with each other? Brother to brother, are you afraid others will judge you if when you see me, instead of nigga, you just said I love you? And it's a complicated history from movies, music to comedy. Black entertainers said the word with love and affection, but it's become a mystery through movies, music, and comedy. Other races abuse turn black wounds into an infection, and we fight for the right to say it. But we're not fighting for a future that determines if it's really right to say it. Who am I to say enough? Who am I to bring it up? Who's this nigga asking you niggas to give it up? I am one of your brothers, it's the reason I'm invited. I am a man that speaks the truth even if you don't like it. I am aware that transformation happens in phases. The first step is the awareness there's no benefit to say it. Screw acceptance, we go from it's okay to it's outrageous. Cause they call brothers niggas for they lock them up in cages. They call black fathers niggas so they can't make better wages. So I'm only using words that bridge a brother to his greatness. My camera reel was broken, but now I get the picture. There's a much bigger audience using the word nigga. So when I say brothers, it's brothers of all persuasions. My brothers black and Latino, Caucasian and Asian in every city and state. Every country and continent, the N-word is a problem all over the fucking place. And words like nigga live in all genders, races, religions. A word you may feel is freedom, for someone else is a prison. So what I'm trying to teach you is a lesson I was given. The words that you choose, words you abuse. The words that you use create the world that you live in. Nigga means ignorant. Doesn't make us better men. Can't put it at the end of your name to go practice medicine. It doesn't make you richer, healthier, or blacker. It does not improve the chances of making black lives matter. And if black lives matter, my niggas, here's what I'm asking. Why would I call you nigga when your righteous name is black man? originals, brothers, sophisticated or gutter. I am only using words that will show my brothers I love you. And the love runs so deep, I am willing to take this sand for the brothers that will sit and try to make me the villain. I'm the tattoo remover here to get it off your chest. It'll sting a little bit, but this is my request. I am asking you to rethink your words. I'm not calling you out, I am calling you forwards. Stop using the word nigga. What to call your brother other than the N-word is only one thing. If that man's really your brother, only thing that you should call him is a king.
Thank you. The last thing I wanted to share with you is this. I want you to remember that we always forget. We can all forget. I want you to remember that you always have the power to choose. In any moment, to choose, to step into who you were called to be. And for the few of you that will literally choose each moment to step into the greatest aspect of who you can be, your radical commitment, that you can always lead. That's what I want you to remember. As we exit from here, I want you all to reach out in reference to this project when it goes live, because I want everyone in this room to commit to sharing this video once it is released. Do you all commit to doing that? Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you to everyone who has been so gracious and so beautiful in your interactions. And I look forward to having a great show for the rest of the day. Thank you all.